Hey guys, this is Anastasia Autumnfire, and this is my day 5 or video 5 vlog for Vlog Till the Light of the Year. This weekend kind of got away from me. Last night kind of got away from me. I did a lot of spiritual workings and things that I want to share, but I just did not find the time to get the videos going. Something I need to work on, time management, priorities, but I feel very strongly that I can make adjustments and get caught up and not let it happen again. We'll see. But I'm gonna hope, I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna get there. So last night was the new moon. So I thought, what a wonderful video to do. But open up a chat a bit about the new moon. For me, I find there are very different opinions and very different connections on this moon phase. There are some people that really connect to the new moon. There are some people that do not connect and will not do anything spiritual for the new moon. And then there are some that honor it in a kind of respectful but cautious way. That's probably the best way I can put it. I do want to say I apologize for the sun. I'm out in the outside parking lot today, so figured I'd do a quick car session before I had to run into work. But the sun is a thing, and it's a thing. So for me, my views on the new moon have changed from when I first started on my personal path. And I think that with everything in everyone's personal path, I think that is common. I think when you look at something, you can have one opinion of it and one practice with it when you start, and then it's going to shift, it's going to evolve, it's going to develop, because that's what happens on all of our spiritual paths. They grow, they evolve, they develop. I think the minute you have a spiritual path and you just kind of go, this is what I do and I don't veer from this, well, sweetie, that's not necessarily a path as like a roadway, and that's not as magical as a path. I don't know how to explain it. And this is coming from the chick that's like, hey, everyone's way is valid, so I guess I shouldn't be so stringent on that. But it's just, for me personally, let's phrase it that way, for me personally, if I was on a path that just went straight and it didn't veer, it didn't curve, it didn't go anywhere except straight, sooner or later I get pretty damn bored. I get pretty exhausted with the traveling always be with the same landscaping and the same kind of terrain. I like those adventures. I like being surprised. Even when the surprise and the adventures hurt like a bitch, you learn from them, you grow from them, and I think that for me is one of the things I love about paganism and I love about witchcraft. So, with that said, things that may have shaped my connection to the new moon, aside from my own personal growth and such. For one, I heard other opinions. I listened to them, and I found some of them to be very interesting. For example, I know a woman who works with Hecate, or Hecate, or however you resonate with that name and pronounce it. And she practices in the Hellenic practice. So the new moon is kind of Hecate's night. That is her night in the Hellenic practice, where she kind of goes out and seeks out the souls of the dead. And traditionally, or at least with this woman's point of view, the souls of the dead that Hecate leads to the underworld are usually souls that have met their end fairly violently. So maybe not the best of consorts to have, or at least not for the living to be privy to, if that makes sense. A lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, perhaps some hate and bitterness. So just something to be mindful of, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. So yeah, that's her night to collect those souls and lead them to the underworld. So on this day, you can go out during the day, get your stuff done, do what you need to do. But then at sunset, you want to go out, or what she does is she goes out and leaves a offering to Hecate and her throng of dead souls that she's leading to the underworld. And she sets it down. She personally does not live by a crossroads, so she goes to the end of her street where there's the signpost, and she resonates that that's a good spot. It connects to her, so she figured good to go, as is true with, in my opinion, as all practices. If something connects to you and you feel like you're good, probably are, so just roll with it. But when she leaves the offering, she turns around, goes home, does not look back. And that's something I've heard from a lot of people that leave offerings outside for Hecate. That once it is laid down, you do not look back, because you may see more than you should. You may see her. You may see her congregation of souls that she's leading. And when I worked with Hecate for a period of time, she was definitely there to bring me through a transition in my life, and was amazing. She kind of let me in, because I was very confused by that, and she kind of let me in. Well, in this life experience, the death is the one thing that is unknown. Those that are alive should not be privy to what may occur beyond. And I got really irritated that she said may occur from beyond, because I always am looking for that confirmation there is something beyond. And even though I know there is, I've had experiences, but you know me. It's always about that logic. I want that confirmation. But that's kind of the point that, at least for me, the reason why I should not look back is because that's not for me to know. And whether that's the reason this woman does it this way, whether it's the reason anyone else does it this way, I don't know. But for me, that was why, if I left a offering for her outside, I should turn around and not look back. So I went with it, because I don't question her. Not too much. Anywho. So yeah, so she'll leave the offering, go inside, not look back. And that night she will spend cleansing her home. That is all that she does. It is a night of honoring Hecate and purification and the home. So, and then I have other people that I know that you do absolutely nothing on the new moon, because the new moon is when the goddess is not watching. The goddess is not there. The goddess is not present, in their opinions. So you can go out, you can do stuff, but it has to be mundane. They don't meditate, they don't cleanse, they certainly don't do any spell workings or crafting. And that's fine, because again, that's their point of view, that's how they work. But for me, what I have discovered in my path is, when I first started on my path, the new moon was fire for me. Like, I loved it. It was something that I connected to. It was something that got my creative juices flowing. I was super, super energetic. The dark of the moon seemed to be a time when I would get just blasted with creative thoughts and vivid dreams and inspiration. And then definitely, if I hadn't yet, I would need to start creating some of those things by the new moon. And that worked, and that was great. So I really was thrown when people were like, oh no, I don't do anything on the new moon because the goddess isn't watching and the goddess isn't there. And for me, and again, as is true with all my videos, what is right for me or what is true for me may not be true for you or may not be right for you. So do not ever take my word as gospel and how you should work your practice or you should live your spiritual life. If I say something that does resonate, run with it, sweetie, but if it doesn't, we'll leave it by the wayside. For me, the goddess is never gone. The goddess is never not aware. I view the new moon as that this is a night when she is hidden to us, but we are not hidden from her. This is something that came about, this realization kind of came to me very recently. I'd always kind of looked at it, well, she's hidden, she's not gone. But the idea that we're always connected to her, it's just, does she want us to know she's connected to us? And that came about after a test this last year that Hell put me through. Of, you know, am I here? Am I not here? She has gone silent many times, but I've always felt that tether. And then this last summer, I felt completely severed from her. I felt like she had completely left me, and it was a thing. Like, it was tough. And put me through a lot of self-doubt, put me through a lot of darkness. Like, should I even be a pagan? I started to question my spiritual path. And quickly it came to me, it's not that it came to me, quickly I realized, no, I should be on this path. If she is not wanting to work with me anymore, or if my time with her is done, okay, then I'm going to start figuring something else out. And then I started to feel this other energy, and I thought, well, it can't be Hell because she left me. And anyway, that's a whole other video for a whole other time. But my point was, even though I felt completely severed from her, I felt completely disconnected, I felt honestly abandoned. I felt completely and utterly abandoned. But I wasn't. The entire time I felt utterly alone and without guidance from my matron. She was always watching. She was hidden, but she was always watching. And Hell, of course, the name means hidden, so the one who is hidden but from which nothing is hidden, that is her. So it kind of makes sense, and that's what the new moon became for me. It had always kind of felt that way, but I finally had the words to equate. I finally had the language to put to it. So yeah, that's what the new moon is to me. The goddess, although she is hidden, she is still aware of us, and she still sees us. So when I began my practice, it was a night for, woohoo, I'm doing it up because I feel super energetic and I feel super good, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. It has now become much more of an honoring of, thank you for letting me stand on my own 2 feet. Thank you for forcing me to be stronger. Thank you for forcing me to see through things. Thank you for pushing me and pushing my limits and pushing my boundaries and making me trust my instincts and my insight and that. Thank you for making me delve into the unknown and into that shadow a bit. Because although it sucks at times to go through, although it hurts like hell, oh, sorry, it hurts like Hades. Sorry. Although it can suck, we'll leave it at that, although it can really, really suck, when you embrace that shadow, when you look at things and go, I feel completely and utterly alone, but you know what, I can do this, I can get through this, I can be okay. I think that's when so much growth happens. That's when so much development happens. That's when we really find out about ourselves. We find out about our truths. We awaken that much more. And that's freaking amazing. It's so fucking cool. And so the new moon becomes my night, has become my night to really honor the goddess for doing that. Connect to that hidden factor. I do, the woman I know that does the saging and smudging on the new moon, that is a practice I've taken on. I will cleanse my entire house, I will take a ritual bath, and usually during that ritual bath is when I will kind of meditate a bit and give my thanks and honor to the goddess in all of her names, in all of her forms, because although I work specifically with Hell, I felt like it was right to honor all of the goddesses, because it's the Lady of 1,000 Names. I mean, she's everything and everywhere. And in every aspect, in every name, there are tests. There are times when you have to stand on your own 2 feet. I know there's a lot of times you attribute that to crone energy, and I certainly do. But think of the maiden. The maiden is a woman who is vital and strong and fresh. She doesn't need a man within her. She is her own person, and how many warrior maidens have there been? Shield Maiden comes to mind. She is strong, she is brash, she will fuck you up. That is to be honored. Think about a mother. A mother is someone, I know this for certain, that is a little harder on you, that makes you think outside the box, that makes you push your boundaries a bit. Tough love is a thing. With my own daughter, there's a lot of times I see her making a mistake and I'm like, oh my gosh, you are gonna cry, you are gonna fall, you are gonna hurt. And as long as it's not gonna hurt her too much, I let her do it. And then I'm right there with a hug and the Kleenex and, okay, now what did you learn? Both, that version of maiden and that version of mother, both speak to that testing. They both speak to the energies of the new moon. That new start, that fresh beginnings, that unimaginable and infinite potential. It comes from finding our own strength. It comes from finding our own voice. That is what I honor on the new moon. I make sure I do something to take that energy in and let the universe know how fucking grateful I am for it. So yeah, I just thought I'd get my thoughts out there. Let me know if you do a ritual, if you do an honoring, if you have a different view, or if you have the same view. Let me know. Comment below. Let me know what you think. The best way for all of us to explore our paths is to share and to learn from others. Certainly there are things that are very personal, and no, you aren't supposed to share those. I get that. Don't do that. But, you know, as long as someone's not on your shoulder saying, no, that's just between you and me, why not share that information? Because you don't know who might resonate with it and who might find great inspiration and light from it. So with that, I will end this, and I hope everyone has had blah, blah, blah. I hope everyone has had a wonderful new moon, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.